Yeah.
Okay,
Okay. And
will
then
do.
Adam, my question to you is how can we get creative and like these guys and accelerate their production so we can get them up to FLQA?
Mhm. Well, what's going on behind the scene is I'm already working with him, with Mike Reed. I mean, he was re-engaging. I mean, he was off doing, concrete stuff with his dad, and, Sky's, turning in his numbers weekly to me and prospecting. And I got a Discord account set up. That's what I sent most of these guys. I didn't send it to you, Gary, but I'll show you guys some of that and how I'm trying to build community. And I was in there like working with agents in our like own server until like 1 o'clock a.m. Central Standard Time last night. And how we're going to start doing live and directs in there and build some of that prospecting community or coming and going, like the diamond to zero to the whatever, zero to diamond. Ricky Caruso, like if you go in his server, even though all the free coaching or whatever he'd been doing since he's at Remax, and it's all new agents, but they're in there role playing. The role playing room is going on and popping like 4 hours a day. And I'm talking to us about we're doing it once a week, or how can we even get to 1 hour a day? And it's like, oh, I think I want to go role play, or I want to go make some live calls. And these groups or rooms are already set up in our server for on Discord. And so I need to show you some of that stuff. And I've been slowly adding people, but it's the younger people that understand the technology, and or they're asking for the same thing, but they don't know each other. And so tying them in, together. And Mark, you go live Friday. Ali, I messaged him and he was very positive. Jason responded with, yeah, man, things are good. Everything's still moving forward. And so I don't know if he's got his license yet or what, but I just responded back. It was like midnight last night. And I told him, look, hey, I got some drive time on Friday, like 4 hours of drive time. And it's like, I'll call you in the afternoon to catch up. And he just said, okay. Donovan, I talked to him when he was off, and I brought you up to speed with where he's at, and you made it seem like you were speaking with him too. I want to be proactive with getting, a proposal in front of him with an actionable, plan he can work side by side his other job. You know what I mean? Like Kamar talking about how he's compartmentalizing, his part-time business from, his full-time business. And it's like, because he has good data management and a vision and goals, and he's very intentional with that. And so working with him on a daily or weekly activity report, and those sheets and stuff like that are in the Google Drives. And so we can lay out what's called an ideal weekly schedule that is like a template, right? And then we can see what actually occurs by him documenting it. And then we can make modifications and tweaks to it as we kind of understand his family dynamics and behaviors, and just exhaustion with working the other job or whatever, to get him in high producing activities in a very part-time state. And he's going to kill it. He's a younger guy with a lot of energy, and he wants to get going full-time in real estate. And who else is on this? Susan, I think, has got some family listings coming up. And I hit Susan like, on WhatsApp, and we kind of go back and forth. I need to send him the last two Canadian conversion project calls, because one was really good on the features and benefits of like the bells and whistles of we'll just say Commissions Inc. or whatever. And then the last one or whatever, and they both had good role plays on them, but the last one or whatever, I felt like all three of us were hitting on all cylinders. And I worked with Jarrett Gary last night too, and he was one of the people on a call till midnight. And it's like, I'm gonna like have you guys where we're at now. I think, we can attack it differently, where they can start role playing, not necessarily, the buyer consultation, we can get through that, but it's like, can they even get to a buyer consultation? Like having them spar the intros, having them spar the structure of calls, and using the closing formula on each other so we can hear them. Because when we're just speaking and talking at them, they're not getting any muscle memory. It's like they're not building any muscle, and then they're only hearing it once a week. And if I get this stuff going in Discord and can tie them in, we'll just say to something, available weekly or 5 days a week. Essentially what's taken us a year to do, like 52 sessions, let's just say with holidays and whatever, being consistent, 40 at best, and they can do that in damn near 5 weeks if I make some tweaks and changes. And you and I know that the guy that goes to the gym 5 days a week or 4 days a week is just a different mindset and a different person than the guy that goes once a week. And so being able to just, like, we're on the right track with the experience, what's going on and all that stuff. But it's like, how do we expedite it? How do we throw some Miracle Grow on it? And then how can we help them build some memory? And it's like, we've done a lot of talking. They get it. Now we need to get them to start to put it in practice with at least like their intros. Like, well, we need to nitpick the shit out of this all the way down to every tonality, every perfect, outstanding, great. Most people are just like you. It's like I was telling Jared, there is a few distinct words with client care resources and how I position that versus what a traditional agent would use. Even as agents, they get different conversion results in terms of the valid conversation to appointment rate. And for whatever reason. And I always knew the agents on my team that wasn't using client care. It's like, well, I'm not ISA or this. It's like, no, you still use this language. This is why I created this language. It differentiates you from everyone else. And it's not as aggressive, and it's much more supportive, right? And you follow that process, you're going to get the same predictable results, right? Within a range of your life experience and your skill set. But we can talk more about that later. But, I really was kind of hammering through, a lot of that stuff with some other things in terms of, also the distribution to get that back out to them. I think everybody, being able to edit down to its purest form, the nuggets, if you will, and being able to get that out. Like, we were missing Susan, we were missing Jen, we were missing Amal towards the end, and there was golden nuggets that's going on. And I know that it's like, the Commissions Inc. stuff, YouTube took it down last week when I put it up because they're getting super strict with the names and the numbers and the compliance, or the protection piece to it that they didn't used to have, which is good. I mean, but at the same time, it is what it is. But when I'm trying to teach agents like how to manage a profile or data management, it's like I got to put a patch or blur out the name and some of these other things that's going to take some more editing time or things in that nature, or figuring out a way to just get it boiled down maybe to its purest form. And if we had the video guy, this would be simple, but we're damn near not there to afford it right now. But it's like getting that link out to them and making sure that some of the notes in, like, there's an app you guys can see that's being read. It's called Read. It gives me a whole summary, and I'm going to send you the summary of this. It tells me what we talked about, what we made commitments to. It summarizes things. I'm going to send you the report, and you guys, whether I'm there or not, we need to be running that and then getting that out with the video, I think, to the other agents and making sure they're staying up to par with some of this stuff. That's just what I believe. I mean, it's like, I love Susan and where we're at, and I know he made the, commitment full time, and it's like, I know he's, got other stuff going on or whatever, but it's like, where's he at? You know what I mean? Like, these things are things that are critical to his growth.
Right. Okay. So this is what I kind of the reason why I brought this up, because we just need to keep, like, we'll go over this weekly as far as, micromanaging what's going on.
Dude, I'm glad you brought this up, part of last night, and I'm glad you brought this up, this piece right here, because this is, it's like, I thought about it even this morning. It's like, I burnt probably like literally 270 grand on top of the other cash flow, dealing with like whatever, just vanish, right? Like poof, doing other stuff. And it's like, the coaching and all this other stuff that we're doing for the network, like we got to get hyper focused on like what matters the most to maximize the money, right? And it's like we might not think Donovan or Sky or this or that, or they're not reaching out to us, but it's like, you know, we could get to a point where it's like I tell the group, like, hey, you got 5 people in between us. It's like you reach out to them, or we've been coaching you for X amount of time, or you know, we got to relook at stuff, because it's like we got to be on the money, like this shit right here, where the new frontliners at, where we at. We're getting people to events. How many people have accepted, you know, and bought an airline ticket because we're getting them a free room? Like, as dumb as you caught Mike Reed being off $300 to not qualify as a FLQA, just as ridiculous to me. But being able to catch that, you know, and have these conversations, this is the most important piece of at least between me, you, and Sarah's business, Gary. So I'm glad you brought this up, and we need to be looking at this and talking about this and making this sheet like a real KPI and a priority for all 3 of us. I agree. I agree with you. So I like it.
Yeah, and so, you know, whatever the next steps are, because if you talk to a few of these people like Sky, what his next steps are, or what we need to do as far as next steps, or what can we do for him to help push him, like same with Donovan, what can we do to, you know, what he's doing, he's attending these, but what else can we do, or what other
I already told you what's up with Donovan. We need to lay out a 1-page.
yeah. Right.
So he needs, like, what leads am I going to go with? Am I going to generate some buyer leads, or am I call FSBOs? I think he needs to start out with something like Vulcan 7. It's a little cheaper. I know he wasn't calling, you know, those type of leads when he was ISA before. It was past client stuff, but he leveraged referrals with, leverage listings, and more expireds and FSBOs are going to be coming on the market with, you know, just the market where we're at, and, you know, people like not being really the trusted advisor and knowing how to price homes. And so I mentioned that to him. And so, you know, what I like to get set up too is make sure that we get an affiliate account set up with, like, you know, all these different companies. And I know that, you know, we kicked out a lot of CRM Grow accounts. I know a lot of people signed up for that. And it's like, I've never seen a check from it. And it's like, unless they direct deposit it into the bank or whatever. And it's like, I'd really like to set up a legit, Cheska has already got one being built that I'm really working off of, but getting like RedX or Vulcan 7 and, you know, some of these other platforms that we're going to be selling a shit ton off of, and, you know, the other platforms that we're running, and try to, you know, offset some of our costs, you know, with some referral money, and taking that, you know, a little serious as well. And so I think that Donovan needs Vulcan 7 or RedX is a little bit cheaper, and starting to hammer away on those. And so that's where we're at with him. And it's like, we need to pick a lead source, we need to pick an avatar, and we need an ideal weekly schedule. And we just got to lay out like a plan with him, and that's next. So I don't know if you want to schedule a call with him or see when he's available, or I'd be willing to do a night call with him or whatever, but that's really where we're at with him.
Okay. Yep. And that's exactly what I'm talking about, because that way, oops, this is the wrong.
And this is what I'm saying. I didn't even know you were talking to Donovan. Donovan didn't even tell me you were talking to him, right? And then I don't even know if you knew that I was talking to Donovan. And then you know, I was surprised he popped back up, and then he filled me in on what's going on. I'm like, awesome. And then I don't know, you know, when you're talking to Susan or vice versa. So us, you know, being able to spot check this at least every other day, or, you know, damn near daily until, you know, we get the FLQAs back up. And it's like, guys, just to bring you up to speed here, we've always been top 30, you know, in the international modern teams. Like, I'm in my 5th year, and it's like I got posted tagged yesterday, and some chick, I know her, she runs a great business and San Diego and a good network. She was at the Alpha event in Florida with me. She's Alpha, so I don't want to downplay it, but you know, she's like, I'm coming for you guys. And she's like, I broke 60th place, or she was in 60th. And then I saw my name there. I was like, what the hell? And it's like, I'm in 59th place. And I was like, damn. And so it's like, we slipped from, you know, 27 to 29. And then it's like, we went into the 40s, and then we went to 59. And so it's like, we're bleeding money, and we're also losing money by leaving money on the table. And then we've just had some unfortunate turn of events with the ISA stuff, and some also just the winter, the shift, everything. I mean, we fought this thing, and I didn't decrease, I upped everything. And it's like it's now or never with some of these things. And so keeping, like we've always said, the main thing now, it's like it's serious. It's like, even when I'm looking at your calendar, Gary, I'm like, who on this list is like not worth the money that I'm paying you, or the amount of money that you're even trying to make over and above that per hour, you know what I mean? To keep you in good positions and things like that, where I know it's like we just unlock another level, like, and get back over 20. It's like we can breathe. We get back over 25. It's like, shit, we left 400 grand on the table last year. Money that's already there, eXp would pay us, and we would just, focus a little more on this part of the business and double back down with our people, our frontliners, and these things like this. And so I'm glad that you're having this conversation, because this is where we're going anyways. And it's like, if I had to tell the network, I'm sorry, but I got to be able to take care of my business, and I have to be financially responsible as the person at, like, we'll just say, running it past Jeff or whatever, to have good financial, management through tough times. And then when I get punched in the nose, to be able to overcome those things, to show you how to do it one day. And unfortunately, it's like with 2,500 people, we just can't serve all of those mouths with a couple of people here. And there's other people that I'm sure that would be willing to help you. You know what I mean? And so being able to say no is gonna, make us a lot more money than saying yes right now, if that makes sense.
Yep, absolutely. So Jay-Z, this is where I want it right here, actually. So you can finish it up. I'm just kind of manually put it, but just put it right here above the expireds.
All right,
Yeah.
so I gotta go, guys. But Kamar, what you kind of experienced right now by listening and hanging out is what we call the weekend review. Some people call it the jam session or whatever, but it's like really on Friday, we really look back on stuff like this. What are we creating? What fires did we have? What decisions, do we need to make? Where did, I mess up? Who needs to be accountable to some, or where can we give compliments and, celebrate some wins or whatever. And so, if you're thinking about, building your network, or, working in any, staff or virtual assistants and, stuff like that, being able to huddle. Gary huddles daily with these guys. This is just the one with all of us. It happens once a week. So hopefully you appreciated, the insight, and kind of maybe had some aha moments, Kamar.
Oh, yeah, definitely. There are a lot of data involved, but definitely this is tracking will help us improve the process later. But yeah, I can see a lot of things are happening.
It's like there's a few moving parts behind the scenes, right?
Yeah.
All right, guys. Yeah, kick me this when it converts, but I appreciate all you guys. And Cheska, let me know when the call action stuff and API is done or whatever, or if you guys need me to take a look at it, Jay-Z, or you need help with it, wrote me in with it. And I mean, other than that, I'll present tomorrow or whatever at 11 o'clock my time, and then I'll probably, get on the road shortly after that. So I'll probably just call you, Gary, and then Cheska. I got, some questions with the lead sourcing and stuff like that I asked for this morning that I haven't even, got into yet. So I could have, some questions for you today or, tomorrow on a few things, but that's pretty much it, guys.
Okay, cool.
Thank you. Great. You have a great day, guys. Bye-bye.
Good seeing you, Kamar.
All right, later, guys.
All right, later.